said you were in a ramp-up period about the last week since you guys started practice, since you've been away from the system. Are you where you want to be right now to be full go going forward?
Just take it one day at a time. Just kind of stick to the plan. Make sure I stay healthy, stay in shape, and like I said, it's really like getting to the season as healthy as possible.
What have you learned about that process over the years for you? Like what works and what doesn't work for you?
Well, when it's time to go, you really got to push yourself, and because they're going to get, I guess, take a little load off the body. So when it's time to go, you really got to push yourself out there so you can get in the best shape as possible, and again, get to the season healthy too. So that's two important parts: being healthy and being in shape.
During individual drills, it looked like you had that same old bend that we're used to seeing. Do you ever surprise yourself when you go out there and you're like, yeah, I still got it?
No, I would always expect the highest from myself. Every day you just got to work your craft. I guess when I can't do it anymore, then I for sure know it's probably not meant for me to be out there anymore. So I came in, I guess, with that ability. So just try to make sure I still got it while I can.
You've been doing this for a while at a very high level. Obviously, you know your body. How do you balance being a leader on this team, but also knowing, like, how much of this do you really even need?
I guess the best way to answer that is I just try to lead by examples. As you can probably tell, I'm not a huge talker anyway, so I just try to lead by example. And while I'm out there, you still got to work your craft. It's not automatic, so you still got to go out there and work your craft, no matter what you're doing or who you are. You still got to go out there and make sure, you can execute at the highest level and at a high speed.
Robert, now that you've been around these practices for the last week or so, how would you describe sort of the tone that the coaching staff is trying to set and just kind of the identity they're trying to create with the way you guys practice?
Well, defensively, it's simple. It's just swarm to the ball, over communicate, stuff like that, and make the plays that you should made or got so make the plays that you should make basically when at the end of the day. But gelling this group together because we're still early. At least it feels like it's early in camp. The guys are still gelling together, getting to know each other, kind of just trying to get things flowing smoothly as possible. So that's why I said the over communication part is it just allows guys to understand what's going on out there and try to play as fast as possible.
You've been in a lot of different camps in a lot of different places. Has there been anything notable to either the tempo or the intensity of anything here the last week, or is it pretty standard for what you've experienced at other places?
Yeah, this year 12, I kind of know what to expect. And at the end of the day, all I can do is control myself. So I'm trying to push myself as best as I can, and I hope everyone else is doing the same. So it's really just, like I said, the training camp is again to perfect your craft or try to get it perfected as best as possible and really get in shape because the season will be here before we know it.
By taking care of your body in the offseason, you missed out on some of the introductory phases of this defense. Are you playing catch-up, or did not being there for that part of it not even matter at this point?
Yeah, it didn't really matter. I I'm pretty much caught up. I know when they call a play, I know what I'm supposed to do and kind of anticipate, the checks and stuff like that. So, just study the playbook when you're not in here, and when you're out there, it just makes everything click even better. So, like I said, it's kind of how I just work things.
Is that just experience, or is OTAs and off-season just overrated?
That's a to each his own type of question. Like I said, I know how to come in and study my playbook and not try to overwhelm myself with, trying to catch up. Like I said, it's football. They give a call, and I try to make it as simple as possible, not overcomplicating the game.
Robert, do you change your training at all? You said 12 years. Do you just keep doing the same thing every year, or do you make little changes every summer to things you want to do?
I guess I just take care of my body a little bit more. But as far as training, nah. As the saying goes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So figured it got me to year 12, so it must be all right in a sense.
Apart from training, apart from like the physical element of your job, you talked a lot last year about what a great offseason you had mentally and spiritually, just that you were in such a good place. Was there anything notable about this recent offseason, any experience for you or anything that you felt was really a bright spot for you?
Well, every day, as I say, every day I wake up is a bright spot. That again, we got a new coaching staff, new players and stuff like that. So, I try to get myself in the best of shape, in the off season. Again, I think, in a good mental space, and coming in again, just trying to show the guys again that I still got a little bit left in this tank. And yeah, again, you don't hear me. I kind of repeat myself all the time, but I never try to overcomplicate things. Football is football. Everyone knows their body and requires this or that. But I know myself, so I know what I need to do to get myself in shape. And like I was saying earlier, just studying the playbook, so I'm not out there having on the mental bus and stuff like that. So those are two important things.
You got these younger pass rushers behind you, Gibson and Snowden and Robinson. They're watching you, but you do things that are kind of uncanny and maybe even ill-advised for other people. You have the rush where both of your feet are off the ground, you just slap guys down, you got that uncanny bend. Jason's always talking about how you get parallel to the ground. You can't necessarily teach them that, nor probably should you. How do you go about leading them and giving them some tips when maybe you do things that other people simply can't do?
Well, the bend and all that, you can't. Yeah, like you said, you can't really teach it, but the way you work your hands and turn your shoulders and do all that I guess the basics to pass rush, and you can still teach guys that, because some guys are more power rushers, some guys are more speed rushers, but at the end of the day, there's some, I guess, basics to it. Again, hand usage, shoulder turn, getting off the ball, and after that, you just kind of use your God-given ability, whether I just said, if it's speed or power or whatever, and just perfect it. As I say, don't try to be like someone else. Make sure you're yourself and know who you are and what type of rusher you are, because, and again, just try to perfect that.
Robert, you've been in this league a long time, but you are switching schemes. As someone who was so successful in the Bears 3-4 last year, all those sacks, how does that change your role this year and the nuances of the 4-3, and what opportunities do you see for yourself?
Well, most of my career before I came here, I was in a 4-3 defense, so it's kind of like back at home for me. So, again, it's just now I got to put my hand in the dirt, but nothing really changes to playing football. It's still, for me, again, it's still kind of all the same for me. Don't, again, as I say, just not trying to do too much and make sure I do my job, and again, work on the basics of football as a D lineman, getting off on the ball and turning corners, all that type of stuff. So again, just doing trying to perfect the little things is important.
To Herb's question really quick, have you heard other guys around the league say I'm trying to do Robert Quinn's pass rush moves, or because your pass rush moves are so unorthodox, do you not hear that?
I really don't even watch the news. Honestly, like I said, I watch a whole watch like forensics files, stuff like that. Just
No. I mean, do you hear other guys saying, other players in the league saying that they're trying to emulate what you're doing? Have you heard that, or is that?
I guess I hear more of how does he do that, versus I want to be like him, or maybe that's just kind of how I interpret what they're saying, because again, everyone wants to be themselves, not like anyone else. So, as you said, I guess they can imitate how I do it, but they gotta make it fit for them. We can still work the same pass rush move, but it may look a little different. But however you do it, it still can be effective no matter what.